I just typed in asteroids games 1980s. I think it came out in 1980s. And if you want, I suppose if you want to develop your own, it's not that hard. You can see it's just a very simple pattern. But if you right click on that and you choose copy image, then you go to paint.net. And do an edit paste into new image. And I'm going to resize that. Zoom is in the bottom right hand corner there. Now, if you do the rectangular select, that selects a rectangle like that. And there's also edit, deselect. I think I showed you this a little bit the other day, didn't I? Would work the images in here. Pink Panther and so forth. Week or two ago. Let's see. The magic wand here. If I click and click in there, it'll choose part of my image. Tolerance allows you to choose more of it. Now, since white and black are radically different, then it's easy for me to select that right there. And then if you do an edit, copy, and edit, paste in the new image. Did I select it? Yeah, I did. Then that's how you capture the ship. Now, if you didn't get enough of the pixels on this, then you could change your tolerance. And notice that this background here is our transparent background by default. If you save it to certain images, then it won't be. But if I do a file, and then save as, it's my picture, so I should call it ship.png, and click OK. Now, is that big enough? I don't know. You increase the size once you get it over in Unity, or you can increase the size here. Now, I could capture these different asteroids using the same technique. Part of the benefit of when you do a, like if I do an edit, deselect, if I do my magic wand right here, and I choose the white, see as I change my tolerance, it can affect everything. Like right there, it selected everything, isn't it? So if you got two things that are close together, you could find that one will grab the other when you do that tolerance. If you do the rectangular select first, do an edit, deselect. There it is. If you do that rectangular select first, or any of the selects, and get that as small as possible, then your tolerance won't go beyond what you've selected. But anyway, capture maybe four asteroids, and then we'll use those. Okay, now I want a black background. I might as well just create here. If I do new and I leave that as is. Now, once you got a image loaded, if you want to change the size of it, how you do it in this package is you do image and you do resize, not canvas size. And then you could change it to 500 pixel by 500. I got maintain a aspect ratio on, but if I click OK, it becomes larger. Now, black is currently selected down here in my colors, but if it wasn't, I could choose whatever color I want. They got the base colors down here at the bottom. And then if I do my paintbrush and click there, it gives me my black background. So I'll do a save and black background, PNG. Okay, so we got a couple images to work with. So let's go over to Unity. Hopefully it works on everybody's computer, because I did a lot of changes this weekend to get that other software working. So hopefully I didn't break you guys in the process. Choose New. I'm going to call it Asteroids so I can easily find it again. And make it 2D. And click Create Project. Is yours going this slow? I'm creating? Okay. Wait till everybody's got their assets up. Pretty good? Not yet? Okay. Excuse me. See, I was worried about where my equipment was. Now I'm worried about what I'm going to do with the equipment when I get it. Probably take me 6 months to get it all set up and configured. Still loading? Yeah. Those little Elvis machines are for the Introduction to Digital Design class. The original hope was that they'd come in July, so I'd have a month to learn the equipment and software before classes started. Good? No, still. I almost got the multi-sim software installed. I got that if you saw it on the PC, but it's not quite right. The other piece of the software, I need a DVD drive to install it off of. And I tried to put it on my little portable drive, and It said the volume didn't match, and I thought I better wait, see if I can get one of those. What all is this all installing?
NASA's important scripts.
Important scripts. Mm. I wonder if it's because I didn't create that test program on every PC. I wonder if I had created that test program yesterday, if it would have. So maybe you got one of the machines I got tired and quit it. My original goal was to install the software and then to create an Android app and create a Unity game. Just real basic one where the characters move across the screen. And I was starting to run out of time and I was getting tired, so I didn't get all the Pink Panthers created. If I can show you some more paint.net stuff while that's loading. You can select the invert selection. Like if I got this selected and I do an edit copy, edit paste in the new image. And increase the size of it. What is that noise?
I think it might be thunder.
Is it thunder?
Got pretty dark outside.
Now if I use my magic wand and I choose the white there, and then increase my tolerance, it's hard to get it quite right. That's probably good enough right there. If I do an invert selection, it'll select everything else except for that. And now if I choose my my eraser, then you can start wiping away the black. Although it's easier just copying a new image. But that's the erase tool. Let's see what else. Or I guess erase selection would be even easier, wouldn't it? Never have done that.
Whenever I faced my meteor, it was already in transparent background mouse.
Right. Yeah. If you've done the tolerance and you've done the magic wand, it by default will go into a transparent background. I was just playing.
Yeah, it's still loaded.
Still loading. Now, the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't spend much time on this in terms of changing, trying to cut out and so forth, because if our background's going to be black and this is black, it'll look just fine, won't it? Now, what you do want to do though is you don't want extra parts to your image. For example, if I do a new here, and I got 500 by 500, and I should have did transparent, but edit, select all, edit, cut. I got this, and I'm going to draw something in the middle. Assuming I can see my mouse. So I draw a smiley face in the middle. Now you put this on the game, and your little smiley face is all it's showing, because the rest of it's transparent. But what is your actual image size? All of this. So you want to make sure that you want to keep it just as tight in as you can be on that. And you can change the canvas size, I think, to do that. So if I do image canvas size, I don't think it dynamically allows you to change it, unfortunately. But you tell it where your image is, and then you change this. So you can bring that in like that. Even easier is just to select what you have and paste it in someplace new. Like that. Still coming in? Still loading. It's loading now. Hold on. It never took that long when I was even doing the test programs last night. Let's see what else I can show you. Everybody understand how layers work? Yeah. Oh, it came back?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know if there's much more exciting I could show you in here. Let's see if I can. If you want to be capturing your images, that'd be fine.
ITP works now.
Oh, is it? Okay. It's just this was slow enough to do it. See, I would think that it's importing everything off the network, or I mean off the computer.
Yeah.
I was thinking the fact that the IT people are here, maybe there's something off the network. See, this is already up. It took a total of 45 seconds. Strange.
Maybe it's this computer.
I proved it yesterday. Okay. So I'm going to come over here, and you remember you can right click on the assets, and you choose import new asset. And we'll bring the black background and hold down my control key and select my ship. I saved my ship. There it is, real small. And click import on those. Now the black background I'll drop up here. Remember, after you drop it on there, you can use your resizing, those little blue balls, to have it go across your entire screen. If I drop my ship up there, let's see, order and layer. Let me put 1 there. You see I got my ship on there. Did we get that added in?
I'm waiting for the ship to load.
Ship's loading now?
No, I'm just waiting for it to load in.
Oh. You mean you did a right click and chose import and it's still?
No, I'm trying to get the ship in to the new assets.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it's in.
Okay, so I got that added in. Now I'm going to at this point need an asteroid. So let me come over here and grab an asteroid. And I'm not going to put any kind of, I do want it small as can be. So I'll just grab it like that and do an edit copy. Edit, paste in a new image. I'll do a file save. And I'll call it rock1.png. Come over here, I'll right click on the assets, import new asset, and rock1. Now drag and drop it up here. Remember, you need to change your layer. So I'll put that at 2. Now my eyes are not the greatest. I'm going to make those bigger. I can't even see the resizing on those. Can you see the resizing?
No.
Maybe it's because of the black background's in the way, maybe. So let me go make them bigger over here, and then I'll re-import them. So I
just zoomed in.
Can you see the resizing when you zoom in?
Yeah, it makes it super pixelated though.
Oh, it does. Oh, you can see the resizing.
Okay. Makes it super pixelated. That's what it did for my ship.
Oops. Black background. At least I can see him now, though. That's what I really want to demonstrate. Okay. So now we can see our ship. And again, to choose the ship and choose the rock, you can come over here and you just click them, and then that selects it over in our hierarchy. Now I want the meteor to move. So I got it selected. I come over here to add component. If you scroll down, you'll see a new script. And I'll call it Rock 1 Movement. Double click that. It'll take you Visual Studio. These are connected to the printer now. So if you go to print your code, it'll print over there. So if you want to keep copies of it, or if some example during the class you want to, have that handy, then you can print it. Now again, the update is where we want to go to start the movement of it. If I say this dot, or sorry, vector 2, and then rock position, then I'll say rock position is equal to this dot transform dot position. Now I'm going to say rock position dot x equals to rock position dot x plus 1. And I can say rock position dot y is equal to rock position dot y plus 1. And then you can set, we're just changing that vector 2 we created. So you can set it back to your object by doing this dot transform dot position is equal to rock position. So this is a temporary structure we've created. You can think of it as a variable, though it's not exactly the same principle. So this is a structure we've created, a variable, and we copy the current position of that rock 1 to that position, and then we add 1 to the x, we add 1 to the y, and then we change the position of what's on the screen with this dot transform dot position. I click Attach to Unity. And if I come over here and run it, that went disappeared pretty fast. I didn't put my black background back where the bounds of what we define our game as. Okay, so I want to slow it down some. So I come over here, I'll stop. 1 is too much. 0.02 and 02, and I'll put an F on there. The F indicates floating point values. And then I click Attach to Unity. There it goes. Now run it. Let me see. going off the screen about right there, it looks like. If that's -1, it's like -1.5. If I wanted to come up off the screen on the other side, if this is roughly -1.5, what would this be down right here? 1.5. Yeah. So what I can do is when it goes up so far off the screen, I'll stop this. I can't really see my grid there, so I guess I'll move my background back down. One, two, three, four, five. So I think it's -1.5. Over my code, I move the position automatically. And stop my debugging. Then I can check if rock position, I want to do this before I set it back to, if rock position dot y is greater than 5, let's just say 5 to begin with. Then I'm going to actually say rock position dot y is equal to -5. Now we have to do some other adjusting on that, but if I attach to Unity, and I come over here and background back, run it. There it's going up. And see what it did?
Yeah, it went like up and went back down.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the problem is though, it just went off the right side of the screen, didn't it? Yeah. So it's not coming back. Stop that. We're going to do similar code. We have to think about what happens when it goes off the right side of the screen. Well, here, when it went off the Y, we just basically dropped it down clear to the bottom. So for the X, we'll say if rock position dot X is greater than, I don't even know what those, let's see what that'd be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so greater than 11. Then I'm going to set rock position dot X is equal to -11. I'll go ahead and attach to Unity. Now I run it. There goes our asteroid. As I say, there's stars on the screen, but no, I just got dust on my screen. And then it just, and I think that's actually the way the asteroid game works. Is when it goes off the screen, all they're doing is setting the Y down here, and then it redoes that. Everybody get your asteroid moving around?
Every time I do attach to Unity, it takes forever to get onto Unity. And when I did the first time, it like closed. Visual Studio and then had to relaunch it, but I still had all my code still.
Was a computer on when you came in?
Yep.
Go ahead and restart it. They were running the Blender Studio, Android Studio earlier. I wonder if it didn't release the memory.
You think it should I restart it then? Because
Yeah, I'd go ahead and save your work, and then just make sure you do an actual restart. And I'll wait while it restarts. That Android Studio isn't the most robust software. Somebody put a space in the name in the software this morning, and that broke it. It changed it in one of the locations, but didn't change it in the other location.
trying to close everything, but like trying to save everything, but it just keeps
It's going slow.
yeah. And it's not letting me stop it from attaching Unity because it's not responding. Okay, now I can.
Go ahead and save your project and put it on your flash drive if you got a flash drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I need to.
Let me switch out this computer and let you do this one.
Alright.
So copy the entire project forward.
Yeah, I think I have it on my flash drive already.
I mean, we won't actually delete it from that one just in case.
Nice. Yes, there's. It's safe state, I suppose.
It's interesting. That is going super slow. So here we are.
Ready? Now it's not responding. Okay, now it stopped not responding, but it's still frozen.
So frozen.
Can't close that. Okay. Oh, so it's saved.
I'll take a look at this later, see why it's going so slow. I got thinking about that restarting. It might have fixed it,
Yeah.
but since it took like 15 or 20 minutes to come up the first time, I thought, And tell me after you've opened your project, and I'll continue then.
Can you show me Visual Studio because I don't think I got it
There you go.
think it saved my project.
Didn't save your project?
I don't think so, because I went to like new Unity project, and
Uh-huh.
isn't there supposed to be like a launch or something on there?
Oh no. Yeah. If you just do an open,
Yeah. Yeah, open,
then point it to your flash drive.
and then I saved it. Then it says like new Unity project.
It didn't save it. Did it?
So saved my computer animation. Aren't you computer science?
It's even on here.
You didn't even save my photos.
And where did it save it by default? Do you remember seeing that?
By default, it goes to like Cali students, but I had put it to my flash drive.
Oh, so you were saving off the flash drive?
Yeah. Because I was hoping it would have saved.
If you have your
Oh,
flash
wait.
drive,
It's right here.
I found it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It says, I don't know why this is good. A new Unity project. Right here, I saved it as Asteroid.
Oh, okay.
Should it be?
Send me your flash drive and I'll copy the images off for you. It won't take you too long to. This started out to be fresh then. Assuming you have the images.
Yeah.
You had a medium rock, the ship, and the big asteroid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are three they had.
There should be like the black background
The black background.
and the like the whole entire picture, like the rock, the ship, and all the other rocks. Should just say like asteroid game or something.
Oh, asteroid game. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, here you go.
Yep, they're on there.
Okay. I'll let you get those imported in and.
So not only that, like saved. Okay, so now that I go to my photos, all my photos are there,
Uh-huh.
and the ones that you saved in the 2D game development. And now, if I open up Asteroid, now it's there.
That's strange.
Do I open up the? Never mind.
If you do a new project now, you'll be able to then add the assets in, and then.
I still have the C# stuff.
Oh, you still have the C# stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything that I need to open up in here that would just bring me back to the Unity what I had all saved?
It's the SLN file is the main. Well, I don't know if it's the main project or not.
The SLN one is the Visual Studio one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was what would bring up in the Visual Studio. I don't know about the. I don't know what all files you need for Unity.
and I accidentally saved it as 3D, and it crashed. Oh no, it's loading.
Wow. Now, if it loads really slow, then I bet it's a network connection there. Um, Tell me when it's all loaded and everything.
Import the small assets. But I accidentally saved it as 3D, so.
After it gets done, you probably want to do a close and then open it back up.
Yeah, I'm doing another one right now.
Okay. Still loading everything.
Yeah.
Is that going as slow as it did last time?
Yeah.
And you just did a new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you saving it to your flash drive directly?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's it. You probably want to save it to the desktop, and then
Should I try and cancel what's loading right now then?
if you can, yeah, that would explain why it's going slow then.
Yeah, I might be able to. I think they might be canceling. I'll open up another one. I just wanted to save them on the flash drive so I would have easy access just in case, like, someone swapped out computers or something.
Yeah, I'll show you how to actually copy it after we're done. Just make sure you put it on the desktop where we can easily find it.
Yeah.
My asteroid just keeps going up and down, not like ending or anything. This is
You got the same code as that?
Yeah,
It's
that's definitely loading faster.
Yeah.
But now it stopped.
let's see. Oops.
Well,
I'm guessing one of your X's and Y's were on the rock position dot X.
okay, now it's going again. This is the one that just opened. Okay, these are the other two I was trying to cancel. This one is documents.
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
Okay.
I'll put a different symbol. Oh, this one's stopped. There we go. I think I put in a less than symbol. by accident.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Didn't save reached it. Your image.
Now that's going at a 45-degree angle. How do you think you could have it go at different angles?
If you put in different X's and Y's instead of like being positive 0.02 would be negative 0.02.
Yeah, those would be different ones. You can even change these to different values. Like if I put a 3 there, attach that to Unity. Now you'll see it won't go at a 45-degree angle anymore, but is 0.03 much of a difference? Probably not. And if I put more of a pronounced effect, 8 or something like that. The X isn't increasing very much. The Y is, you can see what it's doing. So that's how you can get different angles. Now, scientifically, we have from trig, cosine of an angle. Cosine is equal to trying to think what trig you saw. Remember opposite, adjacent, SOHCAHTOA? Cosine is equal to x over r. And that's cosine of an angle. Like cosine of A, let's say, is equal to x over r. You don't cover that at all, do you, in trig in high school? Oh, did you? So if you think about it in terms of a triangle movement, you got cosine is equal to x over r, sine is equal to y over r. If I wanted to solve for x and y, I'd multiply both sides by r. So this would become x is equal to r cosine of our angle. And this would become y is equal to r times sine of your angle. Probably you don't need to go to that kind of extent, but I suppose if you're wanting real precision in your game and you want to go exactly at 23 degrees, then you can do that. Typically, sine has to be in radians. When we're done, or sine and cosine, that to be in radians. I don't really know what it does here. I might have to even import math before I can use it. Cosine. Input angle has to be in radians. So if I was wanting to change this, and instead of hard coding in this value for the x, I could say rock position dot x is equal to rock position dot x plus, and then let's see. Let's say my radius is 2. No, that's too much. 0.1 times, and then I do my math. That's for floating point. Dot x is cosine, and then there'll be another one for changing it to degrees to radians, and then I pass in 23 like that. Doesn't like something about degrees to radians. Like a method. Oh, I guess that's when you multiply by your angle. So I take that times 23. Now let me change this back to 2. Now that 0.1 will affect how it looks. So there it's going off. Doesn't look like 23 degrees. It could be the 0.1 that's affecting it like that. Either that or I just don't understand what that degrees to radians is. I don't know, that might be 23 degrees. Now you don't have to go to that kind of effort from this class, unless you just real into math. Just putting your 0.02f is fine. Or changing those to 3, 4, 0.05, 0.06 to get your asteroids going at different angles. Now, our ship. Is there any questions on that bit of code there? You get all that code? That's killing time while you're doing it. Oops. I made a lot of effort when I first taught this course way back when to use sine and cosine because I want to be mathematically correct and everything. And one book said most people don't pay that much attention. It's whether it's 45 degrees, 43, 41. They can't spot that. They're right. Now, if you're developing a game where you have to enter in the angles, like if you're firing a weapon and you have to enter in what angle you want the cannon at, that's different. Because if you say, I want it at 42, it should be sitting at 42 degrees. Right. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of that trig stuff. There we go. Now notice we got this dot. Let me get rid of that line. We got this dot transform dot position. If I did a this dot, these are all things that I can refer to. If I've attached a rigid body, I can reference that. We're going to see that, because that gives you a lot more power than just doing everything by hand like we're showing. All these are items I can program. Animation attaches game object, so you can control the animation if there's any animation. Now if I choose that and then I do a dot, here's audio. Deprecated, that's an old one. It's camera. You can refer to that. Collider. What I really want to show, though, is this dot transform dot position. You notice over here, transform, position. That's what it's referring to. So what do you think we can change about the ship? The rotation. If you've never played that game before, there's some kind of way to rotate your ship around so you can fire at different asteroids. So to do that, we would need to select our ship, choose Add Component, choose New Script, and I could say Ship Movement. Now double-click Ship Movement. Now down here in the update, I'm going to declare a vector2 ship position. Except for we're not accessing position, are we? Ship rotation. And then I'm going to say ship rotation is equal to this dot transform dot rotation. Now I was wrong. It's not a vector 2. It's a quaternarian. That's interesting. So instead of vector 2, quaternarian. I can't even say that word. There we go. Now if I do ship rotation dot got our equals, returns a Euler angle representation of the rotation. Hash code, type, those aren't too exciting. Normalized. Set the X, Y, Z, and W components of an existing. Set axis angle. Those are deprecated, which means they're eventually going away. Deprecated. Returns a nicely formatted string. W component, don't modify this directly unless you know the insides and out. The X component, don't modify this directly unless you know ins and out. I wonder what that would do. Choose X. Equals ship rotation dot X plus 0.01 F. And then I say this dot transform dot rotation is equal to ship rotation. Working with the actual angle is a little bit better. And let's run it and see what that does. Yeah, it's not quite what we wanted, right?
Maybe we can either rotate it on the Z.
On to Z, yeah. That's why they're saying about the angle. So let's change that to Z. Though it was a pretty cool effect. Yeah, that's what we wanted, right? On to Z. Well, let's look at that other angle. So I'm going to comment that out.
For some reason, it's not moving my my rock. Whenever I run.
Did it save your other component?
Let's see.
That's because I have these. That's probably why. I still have these cosine stuff.
Oh, no, those are commented out if you had slash there.
That's handy. It's on my rock.
I'm going to stop that. And click your rock. Whichever one you have. Is it big ass? Okay, and then oops, sorry. Okay, so your script is rock movement. Let's double click rock movement down there. Well, that should be the one that runs. Look at you.
Yeah, that'd be good, right? Not sure why it's not running. It ran before I did the ship movement.
So it was working, but the ship movement caused it to break?
I guess so, because it was moving before. Maybe order and layer.
Yours working?
Maybe.
Yeah, mine was rotating while the rock was moving with it.
Yeah. Maybe the layers maybe? Said, okay, I never changed.
Yeah. Mine's working.
Go back to your ship. double click the ship. Avoid update. Highlight all that code and just put it in. And copy it or cut it. Or stop here. Okay. Now reattach it. Attach to it.
No, it's not working.
How strange. Maybe this. Let me see this for a second.
This. Yeah, maybe decent.
Isn't that there?
Yeah, it's all the way up top.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I wasn't sure which ones were it. So I didn't want to was closing the one I had already. That was working. Yeah.
Shit, the rock is still not moving.
Pretty sure all the codes are kept. I spelled them way wrong. No, the codes are right. Maybe we need to attach the Unity again, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's a rock. Okay, so what is that? This one?
Yeah. Is it not saving? What they can move for stuff.
Just clicked it too much.
Yeah,
There it goes.
it's not.
I have no clue.
You can just have to delete the rock movement one.
Right. I'm not sure why they get confused on the connection between the two.
Works now. Thank you, please.
If you want to take a break before we start the next class, and you're welcome to, we'll start again then. And look at Blender.